Welcome at GLH. We are here in our testing center where we demonstrate and show all of our machines for our customers, and today we are going to zoom in a certain specific model. The bigger brother in our H-Pro series is the H-700PRO, a fully automatic straight cutting machine. So we are going to have a closer look upon that model. Very recognizable is the big large frame, 40mm square tube on the top, welded. The complete construction is made of 15mm thick steel. It's needed, of course, when you want to cut 700mm. So the capacity is 800mm in the width, 700mm in the height. It has a minimum clamping capacity. This saw is basically built to cut larger diameters, so it's very logical that you have a minimum clamping capacity. The minimum clamping capacity is 100mm. We have, like I said before in another video, some millimeters left or right. So if you have a specific application, your customer wants to clamp smaller diameters, also on this saw, because he wants to invest in one good saw for everything, just ask us. We are very flexible. Our engineers kept it in account, so ask us for the possibilities to GLH USA, APAC or EMEA, and with our engineering department we will come always to a solution. When you look at this saw, you see again a big large sized column inside. So here supported, it's a little bit different this time because it's such a large saw. We operate with two cylinders, one big cylinder to support the bigger column, and then on the other side you have another cylinder that is synchronized with the big cylinder on the other side, this part. And on the outer diameter you see the supporting column that basically supports the other side of the frame to come nicely down and to have no problem with the downfeed. Looking at the parts, the guides are completely welded constructions, so the guide arm on the right side as well as on the left side. That guide arm runs along with the vise, so the moment the vise is closing with this big steel beam, this one, the arm is also coming close. So basically you don't need to pay attention as an operator if the arm is close enough or not close enough. Basically it slides with the vise open and closed. Looking more central, the outfeed table, it's a shorter table, bigger diameters, so different application. Again, thick steel, so when you look at this steel, it's like 15mm thick. Nice holes foreseen to let the coolant flow back into the coolant tank. Rollers completely in the bed. What I've seen with other bigger models in the past and from other manufacturers is that the plates in between are too thin, but these plates are 8mm thick, so thick enough the moment that a part is a little bit shorter or something drops on it. The rollers are solid material with bearings inside. Yeah, so basically nothing can go wrong. The vices, solid vices, fully cast iron, milled, straightened, corrected, cleaned on our milling machinery, on our bigger Kumas. So as well as on the back side as on the front side, it's cast iron. It's double retractable on the front side as well as on the back side. So both of the vices go open as well as on the movable side as on the non-movable side with a short stroke to make sure the material can pass if it's cut or not cut, pushed forward or not pushed forward. So when the shuttle vise goes back, goes open on both sides, goes to the back, grabs the material, comes to the front. This stays open so it cannot collide, clamps again nicely. In that way you can always have correct measurements, correct lengths. So yeah, well thought of. Having a closer look on the guide seats. These are hydraulical guide seats. It's a 54mm blade. 1.6 thickness, and basically on both sides you see as well on the front side as on the back side carbide tungsten inserts, and as a pressure block carbide rollers. In this guide seat we have a roller to the front and a roller to the back. When we zoom in on the bearings, again eccentric bearings, of course larger sized because it's a 54mm blade on the front side and on the back side, as well as on the right part of the guide seat as on the left part. So when the saw comes in and the saw goes out. Zooming in on the brush, this time we use hydraulic brush, settable with the wing nuts, so you can move it up and down easily. So when you exchange a blade, you lower it down, you pull the blade out, put the new blade in, tension it, higher it, the brush, and you can set it on the best way as instructed. So yeah, this is basically a little bit on the front side of the mechanical part. So I'm going to show you now the back side of the machine to explain you a little bit better the gearbox and to have a closer look on the other components of the saw. Showing you the back side of the H-8070PRO. We've taken away the fences for safety, which are needed because of CE. But just to give you a little bit more insight, better to have no fences here and have a closer look on, for example, the gearbox and the motor. It's an 11 kilowatt motor, typical with our GLH gearbox, directly driven on the drive wheel. Again, the measurement reading on the oil level of the gearbox here on the side. So going more to the inside, this is the tube where the hoses go in, nicely done with a hose, a Caterpillar hose, basically to guide the cables, the hydraulic cables and the electrical wires inside. A massive cast iron sleeve on the big size column, which basically supports the whole frame the most, and also a massive cylinder to do the lifting and the downfeed. We have an encoder on the back, a wire encoder. This is for the downfeed measurement and also for the height measurement to see how high the frame is or the blade is, and also to do the downfeed measurement more accurately. When we go more to the bottom, we have here the coolant pump on the outside, basically very easy for maintenance and service the moment the covers are out of the way. And because this system is a double hydraulic system, we have an hydraulic manifold on the left side, which is responsible for all of the components on the left side, and we have a manifold on the right side, which we will show you later, which are responsible for the components on the right side. Because it's an automatic saw, you see here again the measurement reading done with the magnetic tape, to avoid chips and dirt coming in, we have completely locked up in our special hose. And behind this door you have the hydraulic motor and the hydraulic pump with the fan. Also, when you want to do service and maintenance on this one, you take this cover away and you can enter, as well as on the left side as on the right side of the machine. Very important, the basic structure here is with linear guides. So we have large size linear guides for the shuttle vise to slide over. This is reassuring a very accurate movement of the shuttle vise. I'm going more a little bit to the upside. We've opened up the saw on the back side. We've taken away some plates. So in that way we can show you a little bit what is on the inside of this machine on the shuttle vise side. We're on the back side now. I want to show you the shuttle vise. We have here in the shuttle vise, we have again the end of material detection. There's a limit switch on the back side of the vise. So the moment that it is pressed in, we know it has material. The moment it is pressed out, it has no material anymore. Like I stated before, as well as on the shuttle side as on the fixed side, both of the vices are retracting, and here you see the connection to the double retracting cylinder to make sure that the moment that the vice is on the front, it opens up, it goes back, and it doesn't take the material away or pulls it out of the front vice. And then we've opened up the plates, the 8mm thick plates. We've opened up the 80mm solid bars, 90mm solid rollers with bearings inside. And here you can see that the shuttle vice is pushed down basically with an hydraulic cylinder. You can see the rod over here. This is the start of the hydraulic cylinder, but basically it pushes the shuttle vice up and down. Again, normally this cover is here, that cover is also there, but we've opened it up because it's more interesting to see what is underneath than what is on top of it. Going to show you now more on the left side of the machine, which is my left, which is your right, on the right side of the machine and the back side, and see what is over there, and then slowly we move to the front again for the electrical panel. On the other back side of the machine, for showing you, we have here to fill up the hydraulic tank and also to read the height of the hydraulics. This is mostly what you do one time after installation. You take this cover away and then you will see the hydraulic motor and the hydraulic pump. And as I stated already, on the other side we have two manifolds, one on the left side, one on the right side of the back side of the machine, basically for the components on the left side, and this one is for the components on the right side. You can take this cabinet away very easily, loosen 4 screws, 4 bolts basically. You don't need to take them out completely, and then you can slide away this cover. So yeah, this is something for service and maintenance to make it very easy. And then when you go more up, you see the massive arm over here. So that basically holds the blade, the massive block that makes sure that the vice is taken with the blade that is mounted on the front side. The second hydraulic cylinder that is parallel with the other cylinder goes up and down to support the complete frame. This is solid material with rollers. Make sure that it's ensured that as a function of the double column, that it goes smoothly up and down. And then here you have the massive hydraulic tension cylinder for the 8 meter long, over 8 meter long 54mm blade. Of course you need a lot of tension. And the pressure gauge to read basically the pressure on the system. Once again, electrical cabinet, main switch, lock and key, opens like this, and something that is familiar in the meantime. We have our PLC and our German components overall. Not everything is German, but let's say most of the components are German, and or components that are well known all over the globe. Well labeled, again readable in the electrical schematics. Something that basically every good respected or well respected machine manufacturer should have in a good order. The control panel, very recognizable. You will see it over and over again. We use always the same principles with an LED button that basically shows that there's a tension. Starting the hydraulics, starting the cut, stopping the cut, saw frame up, saw frame down, the shuttle vise, the front vise open, the movement of the shuttle vise, and quick or slow mode of the shuttle vise to accurate positioning, the service key. The reset button also, for when there's an alarm you always need to push reset before you can start. And the light off, the light off. Of course, obviously the emergency button. Automatic mode, manual mode. If you have an option of a laser, which is an option. You can add it here, and then there's an extra button that is going to be placed here to activate or deactivate the laser. What is specific on the 700 Pro, because it's such a big saw, the tensioning you can do on the HMI as well. You mostly, because of the 8-meter long blade, you need to be with 2 people to detension and tension the blade. You can do it on the frame. That's something that we are going to foresee in our redesign. But at this moment you can do it on the control panel as well as on the HMI. So detensioning and tensioning the blade. And then last but not least, our electric hydraulic AI system, artificial intelligence system, or SawMaster system is inside. So we work with our downfeed button, and also when you click on the link in this video for the AI system, we will show you how the AI system is going to work.